Caution, this video is only for adults. Everybody is different. Some are good, some are nice, some are creative, but some are bad, and some are really evil. Evil people made sure this world a bad place to live in. Today at Morbid Network, we will be looking at the most disturbing interviews with the most evil people. Stay with us till the end of the video to find out some weird and the most disgusting facts about these beings. The stuff they do and say are going to blow your mind. This is Morbid Network. Videos about crime in every dark corner of the universe. Subscribe to our channel to prepare for the worst. A 13-year-old brutal killer and rapist, Bennett's true story is as horrifying today as it was 14 years ago when he brutally murdered his 4-year-old sister after raping her. Bennett, who was only 13 years old at the time of the heinous crime, was sentenced to 40 years in prison and has been imprisoned since his arrest in 2007. How did a seemingly normal-looking young boy end up killing his sister so brutally at such a young age? Even today, that question stuns everyone. Bennett intended to harm his sister to punish his mother. Bennett stabbed his sister 17 times to spite his mother after convincing the babysitter to leave earlier than usual. The 4-year-old girl was sound asleep in her bed when her brother attacked her. After murdering his sister, the 13-year-old called the police and confessed to the crime he had committed to hurt his own mother.
What were your feelings towards her as her brother, her older brother?
I loved her. I loved her with every fiber of my being.
I mean, she's dead because you killed her.
Yes.
But you love her?
Yes, I do.
She has no regrets. This serial killer killed 7 people, and before her execution, she said that she would do it again if she gets a chance to. She had given conflicting reasons for the 7 murders, first describing them as self-defense after the men had raped her, and then as robberies went wrong on another occasion. When Broomfield asked her why she had killed the men, she simply replied, "Because the cops let me keep killing them." This woman is sick to her core. She even applied to the Florida Supreme Court and demanded they carry out the death sentence. "I killed those men, robbed them as cold as ice," she wrote. "And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. There's no way to keep me alive or anything else because I'd kill again. Hate is crawling through my system," she explained. Eileen Waris pleaded, "I'm sick of hearing about how crazy I am. I've been evaluated numerous times. I'm rational, competent, and trying to tell the truth."
You just couldn't stand being on death row after 12 years.
You have to kill Eileen Waris because she'll kill again.
Stephen McDaniel secretly broke into Lauren Giddings' apartment in June 2011 and murdered her, dismembering her body and disposing her body in a bin. Lauren was reported missing by her friends and family several days later, with Stephen, who lived next door. He was being interviewed by the media as he assisted in the search for her. During the interview, Stephen mentioned Lauren, saying how nice she was and how they went to the same university in Georgia. At one point, he even suggested that Lauren had been kidnapped while out running because nothing seemed out of place when he and one of her friends went into her apartment.
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything.
Things took a turn for the worse when the reporter asked him about the body police discovered in the car park behind the law school. He started crying after they asked him about it and acted like he was in shock to hear this. Stuttering, a panicked Stephen tells the journalist, "I think I need to sit down." Later, during a search of his flat, police found packaging for the hacksaw that had been used to dismember Lauren's body along with the master key to the rooms in the student building. Cops also came across some of Lauren's underwear and a number of blog posts Stephen had written about torturing women. Edmund Kemper is one of the most known American serial killers of all times. Kemper had a troubled upbringing. His parents divorced early in life. As a child, he moved to Montana with his mother Clarnell, who kept Kemper locked in their basement, which had been frequented by rats. He started by killing his grandparents. He was unsure of what to do next, so he phoned his mother, who told him to contact the local police. Kemper did so and waited to be taken into custody. After his arrest, Kemper said that he just wanted to see what it felt like to kill Grandma and testified that he killed his grandfather so he would not have to find out that his wife was dead, and that he was scared of how his grandfather would react to him killing his wife.
On December 18, 1969, his 21st birthday, Kemper was released on parole.
A quote of his probation psychiatrists read, "Ed Kemper is a very well-adjusted young man who had initiative, intelligence, and who was free of any psychiatric illnesses. I would see no psychiatric reason to consider him to be of any danger to himself or to any member of society." Long story short, after this, Kemper killed 8 people, all women, between May 1972 and April 1973. During this 11-month murder spree, Kemper killed 5 college students, 1 high school student, his mother, and his mother's best friend. In an interview, he confessed about the murders he had done and told the most bizarre thing ever, that he had always wanted to kill his mother.
"I'm saying I've wanted to kill my mother since I was 8 years old, and I'm not proud of that."
He also confessed to the cops that after killing his victims, he raped their headless bodies. The Night Stalker. The number of brutal and horrific murders Richard Ramirez has done is 18. Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, terrorized California in the 1980s. He committed a series of murders, usually wearing entirely black clothes, invading random homes during the night. First, he eliminated men present with a bullet to the head. Then he turned to the woman he was raping in some cases. The first murder he did was in 1984, when he murdered an innocent 9-year-old girl after raping her, stabbed her to death, and left her in the basement of a hotel in San Francisco. It was not until 2010 that Ramirez was proven through DNA material to be involved in this murder.
On March 17, 1985, he killed another victim and tried to kill her roommate as well, but she survived the attack and gave a full description to police.
Less than an hour later, he murdered a 30-year-old woman by dragging her from her car and shooting her. In an interview after he was arrested, he said the most disgusting thing by confessing that he is not at all ashamed of what he did.
Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough, but then again, maybe they don't.
Do you have emotions, Richard?
No comment.
His murder attempts were so brutal that they shook the experienced investigators. It would not be unfair to say that he is the human embodiment of evil.
Do you admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not?
He was sentenced to death 19 times, but died a natural death at Greenbury Hospital in California. Let's end this video with another one of the worst serial killers of all time, John Wayne Gacy. Gacy regularly performed at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown. He was a serial killer and rapist who murdered at least 33 young men in Cook County, Illinois, burying the majority of them under his house. Other bodies were recovered from the Des Plaines River nearby. Gacy had an abusive childhood and struggled with his homosexuality. He earned the name Killer Clown for his habit of dressing in a clown costume and makeup. Gacy's murders were discovered after he was convicted of sexual assault in 1968. Typically, he would lure a victim to his home and dupe him into donning handcuffs on the pretext of demonstrating a magic trick. He would then rape and torture his captive before killing him by strangulation. Years later, while under surveillance, Gacy discussed his work as a clown with detectives, jokingly said, "Clowns can get away with anything, even murder."
That's why I always enjoyed clowning. Clowning has taken a bad name because of what they've used in my case.
He even had a diary where he put pictures of his victims. These were the most shocking interviews with the worst serial killers of all time. You never know the murderer or the psychopath sitting next to you, so always be alert and stay safe. Share your thoughts in the comments section about these killers. Who do you think is the worst? Should we do a whole episode about one of them? Also, if you like these videos and want more of them, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.